Hey guys, how's it going? I'm your host for today, Alex Blonsky. I don't know if you guys have seen this last week, but we had a pretty big week in terms of what's been happening at New World Interactive. We had our big Steam sale and free weekend. So if you hadn't seen and weren't like us, we were tracking numbers of all the new people that have joined the game because of the free weekend. Just want to send a big shout out to the entire community for spreading the word. Really, I mean, we really grow based on word of mouth. We don't do things like paid for DLC or anything like that. So most of our anything that we make is basically on game sales. So you guys spreading the word about the game and getting your friends into it and getting them playing the game is kind of the way that that we keep growing. So I think it was awesome, the amount of praise that we got, all the nice reviews that I saw out there. It's really inspiring to keep on going and to keep on adding to the game. So I just want to thank everybody that went out there and let everybody know that our game's out there and it exists. In terms of what's going on today, I thought since we had so many new players that signed up, that we'd kind of take everybody through a basic training. So what that means is, if you're a first-person shooter fan, there's a lot of things that are different in Day of Infamy than other games. We're I would say more on the realistic side, so strategy and communication and knowing maps and weapons and how those function is kind of important if you want to be able to get better on the battlefield. I'm going to basically take you guys through some of the most basic stuff in terms of what's different. I'm not going to take you through first-person shooter basics because I think you can learn that in any game, but stuff that's very specific to Day of Infamy and how it differs in strategy and setup and that sort of thing. I will be answering questions from the chat, but I would highly suggest at the start that we kind of keep on topic to any kind of strategies that you guys have, or any questions you guys have about strategy, because it's going to get a little bit weird going back and forth answering Sandstorm's questions and answering questions about let's say your video setup or that sort of thing. So so first off, I'm going to load into game here. Just give me 1 second. Look in chat. Yeah, so one question I saw in here is about about the kill feed. So one of the big differences between our game and a lot of other games is we don't have a kill feed. We also don't have like a visual way to indicate that you've killed somebody. So it's, unless you're on a custom server. So it's really important to cite your kills and that sort of thing, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. I think what I wanted to start off doing is going into a few of the settings that I thought were important to set up at the start. So I know people have been looking for like a server browser, and that's actually a setting inside of the game. You can choose to put on the server browser or take it out of the game by default, so you're not just going to click multiplayer, that sort of thing. So enabling the server browser is pretty important. In terms of actual controls and key bindings, you're gonna want to set yourself up so that you have the most important key bindings bound in a way that that you can access them easily. I'm a huge weirdo, so if you look at your keyboard right now, the default for any FPS is forward is W, back is S, left is A, and right is D. I'm the weirdo that's basically moved all my keys over one place so that I have access to more keys with my left hand. So I have forward is E, backward is D, move is left. Move left is S, and then move right is F. I know it's not what most people are used to, but it's what I'm used to after playing, I don't know, first-person shooter games for 10 plus years on PC. So it's not something that you have to go do, but if you see that and you're wondering what's up, that's how I do things. Having a proper crouch toggle is really important, just because you're going to be taking cover so often. You're going to want to make sure that you know and have easy access to your sprint function, because you're going to use it a lot. You're not going to want to slowly trudge along between alleys or from like doorway to doorway. If you're just crawling or that sort of thing, you're going to want to use sprint a lot. Prone's another one. Get even lower for those areas where you're kind of out in the open. It can provide it so that you're a way smaller target for other people to hit. Aim down sight. This is all kind of basic and it's probably set up beforehand. Use item and pick up weapon. I think this one is pretty important, just because you're going to want to switch weapons. There's going to be parts where you're going to run out of ammo with your weapon. You're going to want a new weapon. And use item also will reload you on ammo crates and that sort of thing. Your communication keys, definitely important. A lot of Day of Infamy is based on communication and teamwork and that sort of thing. Another one I wanted to show you, if I can find it, sorry, was the map. So tactical map. Sounds kind of weird because it's a default. Like sometimes you have like a radar in a lot of games. Ours, we choose to hide it because realistically you're not going to be running around and knowing everybody's position on a map. So we've added a tactical map. It's like pulling up a map, but it covers a portion of your screen. But knowing your teammates' positioning is definitely important. You want to kind of put out like a front on defense and offense, and you're covering all the holes in that front so that people can't kind of scurry behind your lines and take you out from behind, because that's always the position you're the most vulnerable from. So getting the tactical map on a key that you use a lot is definitely important. So to start, I'm just going to go into a practice mode. Let's pick our new map here, and I'll set it to Commando. Yeah, just looking at the chat. So, guide to get radio men to follow you, please. Yeah, I'll be showing the radio men and officer thing. It's a massive part of Day of Infamy, and one of the biggest differences between Day of Infamy and Insurgency, if you ever played the two. Having the ability to use artillery is pretty huge, especially when guys are holed up in a like specific area and you want to kind of flush them out or kind of break them up. So at the start, just gonna pick my character. So at the start, I think that you really want to look at the types of like classes that you want to be for a specific type of map. So certain classes do better at specific types of maps, and the number of which each one of the classes you can have depends on the map itself and sometimes the mode. So if you have like a unit like the flamethrower, he's not going to do that well if it's like a wide open map, right? But a rifleman or a sniper might do a little bit better, but it depends. Most of our maps have like a layout where there's indoor environments and outdoor environments. So you're going to need a mixture, but you always want to keep that in mind, that if you add extra players to the game, that you want to kind of fill out the areas that you need the most. Having a radio man and no officer is pretty bad, because the radio man, if he doesn't have an officer, is only going to speed up capture on specific objectives and that sort of thing. So make sure that if you if you're gonna run, always run with an officer and radio man, because it's kind of required in every single map. You never want to leave this as 0. So in this case, I'm gonna try playing just rifleman to start, just to show you guys. And then we get to the loadout. So loadout itself, you have a lot of options, and you can see this thing at the top. We have weight. So weight is just the amount of stuff you can carry, and each one of these items has a specified weight with it. So if you click on each one item, you can choose a different weapon, and you can see there's different additions you can add on to them. Some of them have different weights on them. So I could add, let's say, stripper clips or grease bolt, and it changes the way that these weapons fires and that sort of thing. I can also choose to, let's say, choose, instead of having a regular frag grenade, I can choose a smoke grenade, which is very important. Smokes are very important in Day of Infamy. And then I think one of the big ones too is the difference between like a light kit and a heavy kit. Heavy kit is more weight for sure, and it means that you can store more ammo and explosives. But it's at the cost of weight, so you have to get rid of something. So sometimes that means that you might actually have to drop an explosive if you get a heavy kit and that sort of thing. So really depends on the loadout you're going through, but you can save each one of these loadouts for each one of these classes. So I'm just going to go with the default for now, just so I can show you guys.
Boys, this is going to be a heavy one. We've got Germans all throughout the area. Too many, if I'm being honest. We gotta move through and clear them out! Here we go!
Okay, so I'll let my AI teammates move out for a minute here. Just gonna show you guys a few things. So it's very important to learn some of the movement in the game. I think one of the biggest things is sprint. So you're gonna want to sprint around if you are not in cover. Just because if you're just going at a regular pace, it's pretty slow. Like you're just kind of walking around. So if I want to go from this specific area to that area behind the tree there, I'm going to want to run, just because. Ooh, surprised me. I'm going to want to run just because I'm going to be open for fire from the other team. If I don't. Whew. Maybe I should have turned it off commando. Just so I have a little bit more time. Let's just exit back out. Just so I'm not getting our spawn point invaded. Go back in. So another thing that you might see is guys are kind of running around and they'll slide into an area as well. So you see them like drop on 2 knees, run forward, drop on 2 knees, and kind of slide into cover. And basically how you do that is you are running, and if you're running for, I believe it's 1.2 seconds, and then hit the duck key, your character, it's hard to see it because I'm in first person, but you'll slide into an area. And it kind of is like almost an advanced move, and it allows you to duck quickly instead of like running to an area and then ducking down. You get an extra little bit of momentum, so you go behind cover. So if I run forward and then duck, you see, and you hear me slide in as well. So, I talked about map before. So the map is pretty important. I'm going to look at the map now, and you can see my team's kind of spread out all over the place into these kind of different areas, especially corridors. For me, I can see I'm at the bottom. I'll just move around here so you can see me. So it's important for me to fill out kind of an area that people are not right now. So I see that this middle part of the map is covered, but that bottom right section has nobody right now. So if I'm going to have we're going to have a good assault on these objectives, I probably want to fill out that area or follow my teammates into one of those other areas. But if I do not fill out the area over here, there is a possibility that they're going to flank behind us and try to kill us. You probably saw me almost die when a guy flanked behind us over this way and then shot me in here. So I'm going to go and flank the other side. It also provides like a different attack route if you're on the attacking team, just so they're not comfortable all in one spot and they can't set up to mow you down with a machine gun or that sort of thing. And you see here reloading. Reloading will get interrupted if you're doing something else, like if you start sprinting. So if I sit here and fire a couple shots off, if I run, my reload is interrupted. So I have to make sure, and it's always a good idea to make sure, that I sit behind some sort of cover or in some sort of safe area before if I'm reloading. The other thing too is audio is pretty important, and all of our voices, even our in-game voice chat, or if somebody's calling over the radio that they're reloading, the enemy team can hear you. So if they're close enough and they hear I'm reloading, it's likely that I'm just gonna rush in and start firing it at you, just because it's you know that person is at its most vulnerable point. They'd have to switch out to a pistol or that sort of thing to actually fire back at you. So in this is a case where if I was out of ammo, I'd go reload. But the guy also has the ability to rush around this corner, so it's always like a weird situation when to reload and when not to. I find probably the best times are you want to retreat back a little bit, reload, and then run back in again. Whoa, that's weird. Just give me a second. Sorry, OBS crashed me. Just gonna read the chat for a second while I'm getting back up. Can enemies hear voice commands? Oh yeah, they can. So, like I said, if you are sitting in behind cover or out in the open and they hear I'm reloading, that's the time they're gonna rush you. I mean, everything is audible, so anything that even your team says in in-game voice chat, they can hear if they're close enough. It's all based on the distance that you are from that character. So this time I'm joining the German army, but I wanted to show you this. So I definitely saw when I was watching a bunch of streamers over the free weekend try to figure out what class is what, because all the names are in German, right? Hover definitely tells you each one of them, and it's kind of said in the first like line of their description. So you can see riflemen are stalwart soldiers. You kind of get to memorize it over time, but there is a mod or two that that will change this up to be English as well. Just so you know. So if you're sitting here trying to figure out and you're on the German team and trying to figure out what class is which, that's an easy way to do it.
Wir haben eine Menge Arbeit vor uns, Jungs. Es gibt viele feindliche Positionen in diesem Sektor und ehrlich gesagt bräuchten wir mehr Männer. Aber wenn ihr euch langsam bewegt, zusammenbleibt und gegenseitig schützt, müsste es funktionieren. Nehmt Sprengstoff mit. Wir werden ihn brauchen.
So luckily on this map I can show you something cool. So here is an ammo crate. So an ammo crate can either be, well, it can be part of the map like it is here, or it can be dropped by an officer slash radio man. You want to make sure that if it is dropped by an officer slash radio man that you get the hell out of the way. If it's dropping out of the sky, if you go back and watch, I think it's our Dunkirk trailer, at least one of our earlier ones, there was a clip of me getting crushed by an ammo crate when we were behind cover. Somebody called it in behind the cover where 5 of us were sitting, and I just got smushed. So definitely look at the sky for any dropping ammo crates. But so in this case, what these are good for is you can do a quick tap. So a quick tap to resupply, but you can see there's a hold bar, and that'll also refill your health as well to full. So if you think you're low on health, you can actually always go to ammo crate, hold that button that you set up for use item, and you'll reload and get full health. And then back in the battle again. So let's go through some like attacking basics. So this is a wide open map. So what would be important here is you see the bots are pretty dumb and they just kind of rush out over the ridge here. But I've got a position where I can hide behind, and I can either choose to do pot shots like this, or I can kind of flank from the side to give like another area that I'm firing from. So I'm gonna run down here, well, where my team is, and flank, and I can hide. And I'm hidden from every area except for up here. So I want to keep on watching this area here or up here, because I know that this is where the guys are gonna come from. So we went and captured the first position. I'll mark down your map. You'll see at the bottom there, it tells you who is holding each one of the objectives, and you'll always be able to see on the map where the objective is. So if you kind of lost your way, you see the side of the screen there says B, just means I turn that way and I go towards B. It's pretty simple. If you played any other objective-based game, then you've probably seen that before, but just in case. One thing you want to do with weapons is you want to be know how many shots are in each weapon. Sometimes you'll pick up a weapon and you won't know right away. You won't know how many shots are in right away. But once you get it down, you get used to the amount of shots in each one of the weapons. So for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you hear click, 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 because I'm out of ammo. So in this case, you're going to have a reload button, but we do not have auto reload in the game. You actually have to go in and reload your gun. So hit reload gun. So now that I know there's 5 shots in this gun, I'm going to keep it in mind so that I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm too far forward from my team and have to reload. So let's move up here. And this is an area where you see smoke coming in. So smoke's really important. Either people throwing smoke to make sure you have cover towards an area, or have like a smoke run. So an officer and a radio man call in a huge amount of smoke that kind of covers an entire area with smoke. So it means that you guys can rush through that area and they can't exactly see you. So it's really good, especially if you see like the houses up there. If you're trying to rush into those houses, we drop a bunch of smoke in there and then rush inside. Just because if we were just running across that open field there, we're wide open get hit by a lot of gunfire, and that's the ideal place where they know they're going to come. So after this, I'm just going to go up here and die, and I will respawn as an officer so I can show you some of those mechanics. Yeah, thanks for everybody answering questions in the chat too. We have a lot of experienced players that join us each week, so if you have questions and I'm not getting to them quick enough, thanks to everybody that's answering in chat. So, I'll look at my map here for a second. So, in this case, I'm super far forward as a rifleman, which is probably a bad idea. So, I'm going to kind of flank out here to the left. You see the flamethrower. Flamethrower is interesting because he can actually explode if he gets hit right, especially with a grenade or that sort of thing. And he can blow up his teammates as well. So you always want to be careful if you're a flamethrower or near a flamethrower and you do shoot them, that you don't get just covered with fire. Here's a place where I'm going to take cover. Move into the capture point. You can see it's close. It has like the meter indicator on it saying how close I am to it. So I'm in capturing the building. So the more people that you have on a point, the faster it will capture. If you have a radio man, it's going to capture even faster. But the other team can block your capture and block your speed of capture the more people they have on it. So you can never fully capture a point until everybody from the opposite team is off that point. So there's always a chance that you can get it. And for almost all of our game modes, as soon as you do capture a point, you'll either get like an extra life, which is this game mode, or more waves of enemies so you can keep on respawning faster. And so now that I got some life, let me die here for a second so I can show you the officer mechanics. So, officer. So, a couple different things about the officer. Like I said before, officer only really works well with a radio man. So, you'll hear a billion times in a match, I need a radio, because the officer constantly needs somebody near them to call an airstrike. So in this case, if my radio is just chilling over here, I am going to go to my radio man, and then I'm going to call in a smoke strike. So basically, I'm going to use my binoculars in this case. Oh, we already got smoke. So I'm going to get near my radio man if he's smart. And I am going to click, and that will choose a radio menu, and I can choose smoke barrage. So it takes a second for it actually to come in, like any sport you imagine would be realistically. But it's going to drop a ton of smoke in the area that I pressed. Alternatively, you can actually go into the menu, controls, and where is it? Fire support. You can actually bind a key specifically to that that item and call it in with actually having to use the binoculars. So I'm gonna hit my O key. And I get the same menu here without actually having to use the binoculars, but it's going to be at the spot that I'm aiming at. So you have to make sure that if you're doing it, you aim directly at the spot, and then fire. Just like playing PvP, my radio man does not come with me and rushes forward. So let's move together, me and my radio man. Important to cover multiple points. So if you see these guys covering each one of these doors, you're gonna listen for sounds and see which way they've gone. Ooh, I got flamed. Let's rush up here again. So you saw the flamethrower come in when we were in the building. Flamethrower is really good, really only inside of buildings or to flush people out of buildings. It is definitely not good out in the open, as you'd imagine. So if you are a flamethrower, you really want to stick inside of buildings. Or stick beside walls where you could take cover if you're not in a building. You never want to like poke your head up because it's not like you're if you're a flamethrower, you're going to be sniping anybody. So let's go to a different map so we can show you some more stuff. Actually, we can go back out to PvP and maybe that'll make it easier for me to show you some combat. Give it a second. This is why enabling the server browser is really good because you can go in here and check by players, sort, that sort of thing. I like it a bit better than the in-game browser. I am on the East Coast, so typically look for something that has a low ping for you. It's probably really important. I always find that servers with a lot of players in them usually have higher ping slightly. I don't know why that is, probably because they get overloaded, but am I doing online at all today? Yeah, I'm doing online right now. Let's see, any questions? Okay, so we see we have 2 officers in this match, but only 1 radio man. So I really like playing with a rifle and really like being a radio man, so I'm going to join in as one. And you can see on my map, see how there's the those symbols that are kind of running around, those white symbols? Those are my my officers, so I want to go to where they are. Okay, so guy up in that window. Whew, almost got flamed. So this is a good spot for me to look at my map, see where my guys are. Looks like I've got an officer upstairs in this building. So I'm gonna go upstairs. Oh, here he is. Oh yeah. So he's calling in a strike. And I got hit by a strike. If you hear a plane, it means you know that there's a strike coming. You can actually look in the air and see the strikes fall. So here's a case where you're just gonna watch them drop bombs on the other team. So I'm gonna stay close to my guy. sure that there's nobody flanking us from this direction.
Wir brauchen Artillerie auf dieser Position. Jemand muss mir Munition bringen. Wir müssen diesen Punkt verteidigen. Leitstelle hier Gruppen. Sieh nach Südosten.
And he got sniped. So I know there's somebody over here. So he dropped in smoke, so now we have cover to push through that area if we want. So I'm gonna stay with my officer here. Got another officer. So you see how much cover we got in this open street now. So I can rush through here. And we got our machine gun that's set up in a perfect spot. So we can push through here. But in this case, we are defending, so we don't want to push too far out. I mean, we kind of want to stick it and make a perimeter, just to wear down their waves and that sort of thing. Ooh, we know somebody's on the point. You see block and capture appeared, and he ran up behind me. So yeah, if you're on the defending team, it's gone from just defending to blocking. Somebody's in that area. Somebody's on the point from the opposite team, so you probably should look and go flush them out.
Jemand muss mir Munition bringen.
They're climbing up the stairs at 3.
Ich komme.
Oh,
Sie töten
he's...
uns. Runter, Männer.
Alright, so our team's pushing through this area. It would be a good idea in this case for the flamethrower guy to go first. See, we got 3 minutes and 35 seconds to hold this point. So I'm gonna set up here. Yeah, server's full, guys. Thanks for posting IP in chat, but yeah, server is pretty full. So you can wait in queue if you want, but I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people trying to jump in. Whoo! Oh, I missed. So yeah, when you're in an indoor area like that, throwing a hand grenade is pretty good, but it also means that you're exposing yourself and especially exposing your face to be being shot. So doing it from behind cover, especially cover that's right in front of you instead of like going to the side there, is probably a better tactic than what I used. Got 2 minutes to defend this point. Looks like there's some action going on upstairs. A lot of guys firing up here too, as it is an elevated position.
Hello chat, I'm Stream Sniper. Hello chat.
Stream snipers. So the bottom, you can actually see in this game mode the amount of waves we have left. So we're in pretty big danger right now. We've got 1 wave left and a minute left. So we know that probably for this last little bit, they're just gonna rush in. So we've got probably 53 seconds on our last wave here to hold that point. And it looks like so close to being taken. That's 0 versus 0 waves. In that case, I went back down the stairwell just because I wanted to lead him to the shot that I wanted. I've got a rifle, so I don't want to be up close if he has a pistol or a machine gun or that sort of thing. So lead him back down the hallway to the spot that you want. You don't want to really poke out and try to go like hit scan the entire area if you've got a long-range weapon. So I'm gonna go over to my officer. He can call something down here. But now we're 0 on 0 waves and 7 minutes 43 seconds left. So got a long time to go and can't die here. So we gotta stay safe. They're trying to blow us out of this area. So yeah, show you going prone here. You see this windowsill is probably a bit too low for my body if I am just crouching. So going prone here, but it means I also can't shoot out this way, so I have to make sure I aim this way. Another thing I didn't show you guys before, which is important, is once you get too close to a windowsill...
I want to say hi to my mom. Mom, hello.
Oh, hello.
I'm on TV, yeah.
What's up, buddy? So if I get close to any wall, I cannot shoot. So it's important if you are, especially near like a windowsill or that sort of thing, that you're not going to be able to shoot if you get too close like that or on an angle. You see your gun, there's not enough physical room for your arms plus your gun.
That's a bad position. That's a really bad position.
Oh, here, so I think they're gonna come through this way because they've smoked
I'm gonna
it out.
go rush.
One dude's gonna rush.
Follow me if you want to live. I'm very experienced.
Motherfucker.
Oh, more smoke. That means I can't see anything, so I'm gonna have to find another position here.
Call for Stuka or a, you know. MG, he's in that house you were shooting at.
Which one, the pink one?
Yes, it is. He's down. 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, second floor.
He's down, second floor. Oh, snap.
Epic, come here. I don't want to die.
Got some role playing in game.
I don't want to die. Okay, let's rush. Come on.
Okay, so we think we're ahead, so we're gonna try to find this last guy and pressure him just with sheer numbers.
Okay. I think he's AFK.
Oh,
okay, good. There we go. Good job, guys.
Good game.
That was kind of clutch for a long time. Holy shit, enough awards.
Heil.
check out chat.
Gotta get that link up, boy.
Yeah, I've there was some good
Let's play
roleplay
Breakman
streams on
Conversion,
last
come on.
night. If you check our Twitter account, I found a pretty funny explosion from one of their roleplay streams from this really famous streamer that was on last night. It's pretty hilarious. So check out our Dave Infamy Twitter for that clip. And even the game's giving us some tips today. Use voice to communicate effectively with your team. So I wasn't doing it too much that game, and I saw a couple messages from people saying that people don't talk to you in the game, which is true a lot of the time. But if you get on a good server, and especially I would suggest if nobody's talking, well, start a line of communication. So if you don't have a microphone, use the in-game radio menu for voice commands to tell them where you're going or what you're doing. Or better yet, use your mic and let people know what you're doing, and other people start doing it. I always find it's like a conversation. If there's nobody talking, then nobody wants to talk, right? If one person starts a conversation, people feel like they have to talk back. So keeping communication with your team is kind of important, especially if you're defending a certain point or trying to decide which way you're going to attack that point. So I'm going to be defending again as the German team on this map. See what the loadout is so far. Somebody already took the engineer. And we also have a sniper. I got an officer. Let's go, in this case, I'll just be a regular assault.
Radio.
Okay.
Hi.
So I know that I have a submachine gun, which isn't really good for long range, so I want to kind of be closer and take some pot shots from inside of this area. I'm also better than most classes and most weapons in inside combat. It obviously isn't going to out-kick a shotgun, but if a guy misses a rifle shot, submachine gun inside is pretty good. Looks like they're throwing some smoke, so it's likely they're going to come in this area. Just going to get a better angle. Yeah, they sent a ton of smoke to our area. See, this guy's got set up with a machine gun, so we want to protect and flank them. But almost impossible to see outside right now. So let's go for entrances where we think they can come in. So the stairs are a pretty big one because there's multiple ways to come up here. And try to take out our machine gunner. This machine gunner seems like he's got a pretty good angle on it too. So I'm going to move downstairs. Check out my map here. And yeah, we're all inside this house right now. So flanks would be pretty bad for us. So let's go outside actually. Oh god. Oh. So that's one of the cases where didn't know beforehand it was going to get dropped. But if you do see bombs start to fall, usually they'll start falling like in a bit of a line. So if you see the first one go, just get away from that area. You're not in control where every one of those bombs land, and if it falls on your head, that's an instant death. Okay.
Radio.
Move back up.
Watch out for snipers, 12 o'clock.
So it says there are going to be snipers this way, straight ahead through that open area. So we take cover behind this way and move into the house through where it's safe. A lot of fire outside, you can hear that. let's find the source of that. Whew. So they're constantly calling barrages on top of the house, which makes sense to try to flush us out like I was outside. So in that case, probably better to stick inside the house than where I was. This thing you're gonna learn like on every one of the matches what the enemy's trying to do too, and where they're set up. So this guy is taking like a flank on the left side and taking some pot shots at the other team. Looks like a lot of our guys died in that explosion, because look at all the amount of guys that are respawned here. Oh shit. Oh god.
Is it English a Christian server, sir? I want to have that language here.
Christian server?
God bless.
Okay, so they're coming through the front door, it looks like. So they are inside the house. You can see it's turned to blocking capture.
I'm gonna call for Stuka on A. We don't have much time.
Yeah, we have to move up quick because we know they're inside the house. You see, somebody dropped a supply crate. Oh god. Oh! It's camping on that side. Alright. Pretty effective though. Flamethrower dude's gotta get inside that house.
Yep, I killed like 4 people. That's because I'm experienced, you know, guys. Leave a like, subscribe.
We got some self-promotion on the stream. We need to hold this area, because they're gonna get a lot of resupply if we do not.
I'm getting sniped.
Oh my god. Same guy.
As usual.
This has not been a successful round for me. But so far the team looks like they're doing pretty well. As long as they don't capture A, we're going to be in really good shape here, because their waves are getting pretty far down now. Oh boy, I'm backing up out of there.
Fire coming through.
So somebody's on the point. Looks like it's only one dude though. Oh my god. Let's see.
We need a decent radio, man. Epic, please.
Need a radio man. Done. Yeah, I'm on it.
Auf keinen Fall!
So they did end up capturing A, so now the waves are much more even.
Looking at a style grenade, even if it's not yours, you can pick it up and throw it.
So I think my officer is further up here. Well, now he's dead, but I need to get to another officer. He's inside that building. I need to get there. Can I get there safely, though? Not looking like it. So we got 2 officers. Looks like they're going to the middle. I got one come towards me, though. See him right there, Rasputin.
Come here, come here. Epic, epic.
Was here.
That's a nice spot to call artillery.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good spot for spawn camping, you know. Negative.
See these drop in.
Ooh, I'm so famous. I'm on the stream. Oh my god.
You're only Twitch famous, though. Yeah, you're only Twitch famous.
Bomber, bomber.
Okay, so wide open. Nothing's threatening B right now, so we're pretty good. I have to be in like decent distance, so I don't have to be like right on top of my officer.
We need ammo supply. Always go for ammo supply. We need people at B.
It's like B's getting invaded a bit. Oh god.
Oh no.
My radio, man. Got that here in the basement, blocking capture. Okay, I gotta go towards my officer. So I'm gonna take some cover running up through this side so I'm not exposed. Okay, so he's dropping. Ah, I missed my shot.
Well, my ping is very ugly, but you know. Бля, хреново, очень плохо, ребят.
Yeah, let's see.
Erhalte gerade die Nachricht, dass der Feind bei Bertha ist.
Ooh, that isn't good. And that's why he's sitting in the window. Running in the open is usually pretty bad in a way for you to get sniped.
Если ты хочешь жить, братишка. Блять. Блять.
Yeah, there's no kill feed in the game except for on custom servers. And the reason why we do that is we want you to encourage communication between between players, especially.
We're here.
Nicht, dass der Feind bei Bertha ist! Pass auf! Feind südwestlich! In Ordnung, ich gehe zu Bertha. Wir brauchen Nebel.
Officers running super far ahead. Stick with me.
Feind südwestlich!
Officer? What the fuck, dude? Putting me in some crazy danger.
Pass auf! Feind südwestlich! Sie töten uns! Ich werfe eine Nebelgranate!
Okay. Well, I hate to... Okay, never mind. I love free weekend. I meant I love free weekend and I love new players.
Did you just see the same thing I did with the smoke grenade?
Wer hat ein Funkgerät? Zu mir damit! In Ordnung! Wer hat ein Funkgerät? Zu mir damit!
Epic, come with me. I am very experienced. Yes. Hello. So there's a spot right here.
Alright.
You can
This guy's gonna show us the
call
spot.
for support to their spawn. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay.
Bringt mir ein Funkgerät! Beeilung! Sieh nach Süden, Kameraden! Feinde!
Yeah, in case you were wondering as a radio man if there's anything that you have to do to call down anything,
It's very risky.
just being close.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we just got opened up on. We got 2 minutes 20 seconds to hold that area.
Oh! Tut mir leid! Nein!
I'm sorry. Let's play. Yeah. Let's play seriously.
Yeah, kill feed. I actually am a pretty big fan after we
Second floor,
stop
second
using
floor,
it.
what? Oh yeah, I'm so tactical. Oh, fuck.
Oh no. So now the game's pretty evened up. Both sides have about the same amount of waves.
Nein! Sie töten uns!
We gotta take him down.
Ich setze eine Nebelgranate ein! Ich muss mir Munition bringen! Ich brauche mehr Munition! Jemand muss mir Munition bringen! Oh! Tut mir leid! Nein!
Okay, where's my closest officer? Do I have one?
Feind südwestlich!
Oh, he's coming this way.
Okay, so just a fancy. Epic, it's me.
Nein!
Let's get back to our point. Use the smoke as cover. Find
Tut mir leid! Nein!
my officer. Was here.
Going.
Deckung kriegen!
Yeah, come with me. Пойдем, братишка.
Kann ich Verstärkung kriegen? Leitstelle, hier Gruppenführer!
I see, I don't use binoculars to call fire support. That's why I'm so experienced.
He
Then
bound a
we're gonna
hotkey, he's
call
very
almost
advanced.
Drop right here. Remember, people in chat always call for ammo drop.
I'm just not gonna talk. I was staying in front of this guy.
Gruppenführer! Könnt ihr auf dieser Position Nachschub abwerfen? Kommen! Fantastisch!
Now I have two radio men. I am so popular, yes indeed.
Yeah, that's when we run inside.
I killed one of our guys, I'm sorry.
That oh fuck was from experience, right?
Leitstelle, ihr Gruppenführer! Wir brauchen eine Bombardierung auf dieser Position! Könnt ihr das an? Tut mir leid!
There's ammo box.
So there's our ammo. So can you use that key to resupply?
Battlefield.
Ein liebenswürdiger!
They are on the first floor. We're gonna kill them right here.
Oh shit.
Das ist
Alright.
unser Bomber! Dreckskerle! Sie haben uns!
Oh. So we know that they're there for sure.
Kann ich Verstärkung kriegen?
Okay.
Nachricht erhalten! Der Feind steht
Some
beim
action
Cäsar.
up there.
Männer, wir brauchen sofort Nebel! Männer, wir brauchen sofort Nebel! Schnell! Jungs, ich benötige Unterstützung hier!
Hear a lot of German voices, so I know my teammates are close. And now the dude's dead, so
Ich brauche mehr
I'm
Munition!
not blocking capture anymore.
Pass auf! Feind Südwest!
Go to my officer. Looks like
I
he's
hope
going
you got best
upstairs.
moments with Rasputin and place it on your YouTube channel.
Best Rasputin moments would probably be our top video.
Hello my friend.
Looks like somebody's inside. We were blocking capture for a second, but he died.
Glitched through the bag.
Call it best moments with Rasputin.
Hey! Das Hauptquartier meldet Feinde bei Cäsar! Sehr gut! Hey! Ich bin hier am Nach...
Second floor, MG suppressing second floor.
Wir brauchen Nebel! Leitstelle, hier Gruppenführer!
That machine gun is doing work to those walls.
Runter, Männer!
Oh my god.
God, no. That was my favorite soldier. It was Hans. Hans is dead.
Who is Hans to you?
Another supply drop just to be in case.
This guy loves supply drops. Alright.
Feind südwestlich!
As much as I want to hang back here,
Hans was my best friend. Rest in peace, Hans. You will be remembered.
so it looks like the...
Drops is love. Supply drops is life. All praise the supply drops.
Okay, I'll go back to him for a second. But
Listen, if I'm ruining your stream, just say it. I'm just trying to be funny, you know.
oh shit. Okay, so he's up there.
Geht mit Deckung auf! Ich lade südwestlich!
Okay, we have Stuka. Oh, I love Stuka.
Our machine gun's dead.
Munition bringen!
I'm going to resupply because I just got hit.
Ich komme! Scharfschütze!
Yes, everyone loves my supply drop. Yes.
Hopefully that allows us to hold this point longer because we can keep on resupplying. We know they're probably going to try to come in now. This guy's got a crazy spot set up.
Wir haben Feindsicht im Süden! Hey, ich bin hier am Nachladen!
Okay.
Wir haben Feindsicht im Süden! Ich brauche mehr Munition! Jetzt geht's los!
Stuka coming. Oh god, come on guys.
Hey! Pass auf! Das Hauptquartier meldet Feinde bei Cäsar! Was macht ihr Idioten? Bringt mir ein Funkgerät! Pass auf! Gib mir Deckung! Leitstelle, hier Gruppenführer! Wir brauchen
I have a 1.14% chance of getting the kill.
So much skill. Best officer. Grenade.
Oh. And that's why we have supply drops.
Yeah, I killed him. We need more supply drops. Everyone loves supply drops. Follow
War.
me.
Give me more supply drops. I want supply drops off cooldown.
Okay, supply drop is coming. It's good, yes.
Sehr gut, danke.
Oh, somebody got inside for a second.
Das Hauptquartier meldet Feinde bei Cäsar.
Okay, I want to get out of this area because it's pretty smoky. So this is kind of covered for me, it looks like. Oh no, he got in behind us. Hopefully somebody flushes that guy out.
Here, you smoke.
Because we cannot lose this point. If we do, we're going to lose the game. We're already down on waves right now. So really important we hold this. We have a minute 28, so it's unlikely that that this game is going to be decided based on waves. But if they capture it, we're pretty done.
Second floor.
So I'm going to run to the safe spot, hopefully.
I mean, as an officer. Yeah.
Feind südwestlich. Ich muss nachladen.
Got 40. Oh!
Feinde! Welche Lösung?
That grenade, though. And the flank.
Ich bin hier am Nachladen. Diese Position gehört uns. Verteidigen.
24 seconds.
Jemand hierher kommen und helfen. Bringt mir
This is
einen
for all the marbles.
Come on, come on, come on, Epic.
I'm here.
Come on, come on, come on.
I'm here.
We're gonna win it. Use smoke here. Remember, new players. Always use smoke here because of enemy machine gunners. You do it like this.
Feind im Südosten.
Here.
Deckung. Bringt mir ein Funkgerät. Achtung, ich werfe eine Granate. Scheiße. Feind im Südosten. Deckung. Kann bitte jemand hierher kommen?
There we go.
Yes, we win because of me.
I
Yep.
win because of America, not communism.
As if there were any doubt.
We won because of teamwork.
We won because of friendship.
Friendship always wins.
Well, I would consider having, like, I think I had the most deaths here, so I would consider this a win.
So it looks like we got some room in the server. If anybody wants to join up. I think somebody posted the server URIP earlier, so I will repost that. So for anybody that was participating in the free weekend, either new players or old players, how did you find it? Was it fun having all the extra people on server, or and for the new players, did you have a good time during the weekend? So next map we are going to is Dunkirk. So Dunkirk is kind of a weird map because it has like a wide open area, like a really big wide open area, and then it has like the enclosed town areas that you see in a lot of our maps. But generally, the game changes a lot as soon as like the especially the German team pushes towards the beach, because then it becomes like a wide open like sniping fest and that sort of thing. So you kind of might have to look at changing like your class layout once you get to the beach, or get pushed back to the beach, or even are assaulting the beach. Because flamethrowers don't work as well in wide open areas like on the Dunkirk beach. So fun playing with so many on. Officers didn't really call anything all weekend though. Yeah, I saw that a lot. And the ones that we're calling, we're having kind of a field day, knowing at least the teams that had a good officer were having a field day. So we're on the German side, so we'll be attacking. I'm going to go for my favorite, the radio. I think I want... Yeah, let's take 2 smokes. Okay. Now we do have Rasputin.
Yep, it's me again.
Oh god.
Rasputin. Hello guys. So guys, okay, first of all, don't push. They're gonna nade you and kill you. You wait for my smoke, guys. We flank them right.
Alright, we're waiting for the smoke.
Wait for smoke, then rush. We do it like we do in Russia. We push like in Russia, like we do. Блять, давайте, ребятки. Ждем, boom, smoke. I'm gonna call for Stuka Epic, follow me.
So this is the radio with radio man with 2 officers, which can work. Except for if I die, they're kind of on their own.
Okay. Push A. We flank them. Push.
So inside A, we're capturing it. Want to find a good position here.
Good. Easy A.
Oh shit. We got it. Alright. So we're stuck here. I see my officer off to the side, so I'm going to go towards him. I don't think I can get out of here easily, though. It looks like it kind of pinned down. And here's some bombing coming. So I'm going to run across. He ran up. Oh, shit. Alright. Good flamethrower work there. Okay, let's see. Let's look at my map for a second. Looks like I don't have officer close by. Yeah, come to me. Come to me. Alright. So now I can move up again and push to the next point. Just rushing at points makes no sense. You're gonna want to like kind of resupply and have more guys come.
It's coming in 25 seconds. Supply drop is coming also in 25 seconds. Remember, kids.
Follow you to hell and back, Commandant.
So we're gonna set this spot up as a as kind of a resupply point, just so we can keep pushing forward.
Now we're gonna push it. Okay, no, not this side.
Okay. Let's go this side. I'm really low on health. Ah. I got picked. It wasn't close enough to that car. I am definitely not like MLG. I am not a great player at the game. I would put myself in the bottom half of players, but I played long enough that I know a couple things. See how far we're moving up now. Looks like we're doing pretty well at moving into this this hotel. They should be upstairs defending, especially those stairs. It's a really good point upstairs on this map. The top of that stairs is really good for covering anything entering either side of that building, and it also allows you to defend. It's hard to get in there too. Yeah, you can. All you have to defend is the two side routes in the building. So yeah, where this guy is a great spot if you're defending.
Oh my god, don't let me die, I'm scared to save this game. I won't follow you, I'm scary. We need to keep moving.
So we're wide open here. We should kind of get off to the side a little bit.
Smoke is coming, watch second floor. Push it like we do in Russia, push it.
Oh shit, guy in that. I think I got him. I saw the red mist. So I'm on it, which should speed up this capture a lot. Oh, there we go. Oh, this building's getting bombed, so I get it close to the middle of it. Because if you are too close to even a wall, you can get hit by the explosion. Just like you think with a real huge explosion in real life. So now we're in the outdoor area, so have to be careful. Oh. Guy with the flanking snipe. Alright, time to bring some radios to some officers.
Okay, first of all, supply drop. Easiest game in my life, easiest.
I don't know, I've had some pretty big stomps, dude. Alright.
Okay, come here.
Allow him to grab some supplies.
Come here, bro.
Ich bin hier am Nachladen. Leitstelle, hier Gruppenführer. Könnt ihr uns ein Flugzeug schicken, um dieses Gebiet zu bombardieren?
First of all, bombs, then smoke. Wait for smoke.
Okay, so we got some smoke out there.
Oh, hello,
Smoke
sir.
is
What are
coming.
you doing here, sir?
So you see our crates out there. See it through the wall, see that symbol? And now here comes our bombs.
Yeah,
So we're gonna get to the
much
plane
kills.
here, which is our next objective. So I'm going to smoke that plane.
Prepare to push, my brothers. Prepare to push.
So now we charge in. And this is the power of smoke. Nobody can see us going, even though they're all probably aiming at this spot. And they have to move up to actually defend it. Oh, I got taken down by a machine gun.
Well, that didn't go well.
No, that did not go well.
Oh my god, we're so dead.
But we are very ahead on waves right now.
Everything people dead, you understand?
You don't want to push out too early.
First of all, smoke, then stuka. Remember, kids, always use ammo drops. Bro, you're not funny. Stop it.
I can't fuck the ammo job. Not running, man.
Können Sie
What the hell is happening here?
dieser Position schicken? Kommen!
Oh,
Leitstelle hier!
this is one of those moments where you hope that you have no penalty team kill. Alright, so we got smokes coming in.
Auf damit, du!
Oh god.
Töten uns! Ich setze eine Nebenquartier, dass unsere Männer bei Cäsar sind! Mal, was zum Teufel machst du da? Hauptquartier meldet, dass unsere Männer bei Cäsar sind!
There's a lot of them sitting on here. No. Ah, got it from behind. Too far up. That's my fault. How long did these streams normally last for? Normally go about 2 hours, but we leave the last little bit for open Q&A. We'll show off something, we'll play some games, and then I'll answer some of your questions. So we got a lot of time on the clock. You see, like, we got 15 minutes, so we're in no rush to take that point.
Get the fuck out now!
So this is one of those areas that having officers call in stuff is very important, so we get people off that point.
Radio, radio, radio.
I'm smoking guy!
Eine Nebelgranate! Männer, ich lade nach! Leitstelle, hier Gruppenführer! Vernebelt diese Position! Kommen!
So we need a supply drop. I almost forgot. Okay.
Nebelgranaten raus!
Gonna throw a smoke over there just so it covers any shots from that way.
Those back boxes.
See? Harder to see us now.
Smoke is coming. Prepare, you guys.
Nach Osten, los!
Throw one more.
Ich werfe eine Nebelgranate!
Okay.
Wir müssen nach Süden gehen!
Undercover from smoke.
Die Führungsstelle meldet, dass wir Cäsar einnehmen!
These guys got a lot of guys on the point.
Kann mich irgendwer hören? Besorgt
Looks like I took one of them out. Oh shit, more. Yeah, they're sitting on the tail. They're just sitting on the tail. Like on top of it.
Okay, so they are on the plane. That means our snipers is not doing that good.
feindlicher
Bomber, bomber, come here.
Hello?
They had an MG on the right side, just camping in the bushes.
MG on the right side. Okay, so there's our resupply position.
Zu mir damit!
Okay. Let's go here.
Leitstelle, hier Gruppenführer! Schickt eine Stuka, um diese Position zu bombardieren! Wer hat ein Funken?
Stuka coming on plane. They're gonna be so
So
dead.
for now, I'm gonna throw this here so we stop getting shot at.
Some rockets. Don't stand here.
Machine gun.
Don't let me die!
Flugzeug! Was macht ihr, Idioten? Scheiße! Bringt mir ein Funkgerät! Nebelgranaten raus!
Oh my god, what the fuck happened to this game? That's so scary.
Incendiary rounds. Don't go. Incendiary rounds.
Ich setze eine Nebel!
Okay. blowing it up. You see they have a resupply crate on top. Those guys stupidly went in when bombs were dropping.
Bomber coming. Push, 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 push.
Okay, moving up. So I'm gonna flank to the left here because there's so many guys on the tail last time.
Hauptquartier meldet, dass unsere Männer beim Cäsar sind.
Yeah. I need to stay safe here. We're capturing quick because I'm on it. Done. So that's a huge amount of waves for us. So now we can move even farther up. So the last point objective you can see at the bottom is a radio. In this case, we can just shoot it to blow it up. So
Not you, of course.
you have to get into that boat that's at
It's
the
a common
bottom.
problem
If
in
you
this
watch
game.
the movie Dunkirk, there is like this blue boat that they use to ferry themselves out, and that's actually similar to the boat that we're going towards. So. You see it down there, where he's looking. See the boat?
Stuka coming. Oh my god, that's gonna be so cool.
So all we have to do is get an angle of that radio, but it's inside the boat, so. Looks like we're flanking left. So let's continue going forward. Let's throw down a smoke, so great good angle.
MG gunner. Push, push. Easiest game.
Yeah. Watch your overhead so you don't get stuck. Switch to weapon, because I don't want to be caught by surprise with the... See him. It's prediction fire.
Push, push.
Pushing up.
Push, push, push. Push further.
I threw some smoke on top of their boat, so hopefully it's harder for them to see us rushing in before I died. But all we have to do is get behind this boat and shoot that radio.
GG.
Yeah, everything inside the inventory has a weight on it, so you're gonna want to,
Okay.
there we go. We just ran out of waves because we captured way too many points. And every time we keep on getting more waves for every point that we capture. MVP. MVP. Let's go back to my favorite, to the radio. I do not think I want a shotgun by default, so this is one of the ones where I'm going to pick something else. And I get a pistol because I am on the Commonwealth side. Alright. Rasputin.
I need a way. Get you out of here! We ain't fucking moving!
Look at my cool headshot. Yes.
If we need any trees chopped, we know where to go.
Yep.
So a lot of them are going to come down this hallway right there. They
so
kind of
come
spawn
through.
beyond that area, and you can see. I saw him, but I missed him. And that's where you see here, like, if you are the defender, you have an advantage. So you don't have to look at the score as much, like, for everything. If you are attacking, I think you're always going to have, like, a worse kill-to-death ratio. Always defender's advantage. It's like playing playing lots of other games. Usually they get a high ground or all sorts of stuff. Ooh. You know he's looking this way, so I'm just gonna be cautious. Yeah, they are all down that hallway. So let's put some smoke down. So we have a way out of here. And you can see which way he's firing. So, oh! My smoke wasn't wide enough so you can still see down that one side. It's my mistake.
Okay, once again. Oh my god, that position. Freaking
It's fucking shit.
I think the sniper's in the. I think the sniper's in the second floor, on the left-hand side. Yeah, let's stop playing so aggressive. I actually might change my loadout to shotgun after all. Just because the capture points in this cafe there you saw, it's really enclosed, so you don't have to walk outside all the time. If you're defending, time's on your side, and you kind of sit in an area and let them whittle their waves down. Oh my god, there's so many guys. Look at this. Just hope they don't get bombed. Okay, so I'm going to throw smoke out. Because we know there's a sniper. That guy got blown up. Okay. One out here.
Commander boss, enemies able!
Oh shit, we got enemy inside here. Watch our back here. Blocking somebody's inside. Probably this way.
Sniper.
Oh fuck, they are very inside. Didn't listen to the grenade call on time. Scooby's giving some good advice in chat. But we're doing pretty good so far. They're down to 10 waves. Don't think time will be a factor yet unless they capture the point or start camping to make sure that they keep their waves, but they lose that way.
Keep moving! Keep moving! Don't stop!
Watch out for MG gunner, second floor. Always
No, what's a fucking machine gun guy? He's camped. No, mama.
Throw smoke here to cover us as we move up. Okay. I'm gonna go upstairs just because my dude's gonna fall shit. Oh, Christ.
Блять.
They are seriously camping that one side of the map. So once I see that happening, I just take note of where they were. And a good idea is to actually throw some smoke at that area, because it means that for a long period of time, like a minute, they're not going to be able to shoot out of that area if you throw the smoke right in front of them.
Let's play less aggressive.
Yeah, I wish there was some developers in this game or something.
Anyone that's not gonna shoot that guy with a flamethrower just backsided us?
It's the game's problem and not yours, for sure. Oh my god. Alright, so we got pushed back. So now we're defending the hotel. I showed you guys before like that really good area to defend hotel. So we're gonna try to get there. If we can. Problem is, to get upstairs, we have to run around this side, which exposes us for a second. But this is a really good area because there's a lot of space that you can see these entrances.
Hello.
And we should take a way more defensive position than we were last time.
I need a radio.
Okay. Where is he? Oh, he's down there.
I need to call
Let's go the safe way.
Shot if you go out that window.
Right here, you see flash tank, shoot my flash tank, you guys do what happened.
Okay, he's back here. I think he's gonna be doing some supply drops, would be my guess.
3 seconds.
Yep, supply drop, so that we can keep on retreating back without losing waves and resupply. You don't want to put it too far forward.
Nice shot.
Looks like they're bombing the front of the building. Move upstairs. So I think you could just hear that that supply drop land outside.
Here they come, boys.
So we know that's an option.
Oh, we can't, we're going to die.
So smoke's out, so we know they're probably coming in.
Ammo. Okay.
Oh, why are you smoking? Why the fuck is smoking?
Have you ever thought might be the Germans who were smoking? Dude, I'm gonna mute you. You're not fucking smoking. Good doinks. What are you saying? Ever thought that the Germans might be the ones smoking? Doinks.
Under fire! Hope you lads are taking notes. Would you be so kindness to give me a fucking radio? Someone get me a fucking radio right now!
Radio, don't die. Epic.
Come in.
My radio?
I'm here.
Enough with the pleasantries! Just hammer these bastards! Come on!
They're gonna come for the stairs.
My god.
And the supply drop right here.
Oh.
Oh my god.
So we got a lot of waves to work with, so we just have to make sure that we keep on staying in a defensive position here. See, they are inside, so we have to be careful. Oh, one's this way. I hear some footsteps to the right here, though.
Reloading!
Almost shot my own dude. Not going near that window, so I'm just going to...
Throwing smoke grenade!
think they're here to the left.
Watch out for a spawn camper. Spawn camper. You.
There's a bunch inside because you can see how fast it's going up even with one of our guys on it. We got 20 seconds, so it's a long period of time.
So no one on B, no one on B. That's a bad.
Let's see what our map looks like right now. Yeah.
No one on B.
Not right now, no. Everybody on B.
This is section commander. I need an incendiary strike on this target. Sniper!
So I'm gonna make sure that I switch back to a rifle, just because we're in the open now and shotgun's not gonna make much sense. Loadout, just change this to that so next time I respawn. But for now, I'm going to start defending pretty close, especially when people move up for, just watch out for planes overhead especially.
Bombs coming near us, near, very near.
Oh crap, bombs coming near us, so let's move out of the way here. Let's look in the air. See if you can find bombers. There they are.
Please, fuck.
Epic, epic.
What the fuck is shit?
I'm gonna die right now. Blah.
It's using these trucks for cover. Just running in front of them doesn't make much sense, so let's run behind. Oh, got blown up. Okay. And now I've got my... Is that him?
There's one on the left side of the damage.
Oh no. Some dude voted to restart the round. It's interesting.
Loading, loading!
Oh, they're all on it.
Enemy dive bomber!
And we've got a couple guys AFK, it looks like.
Get me a bloody radio! Now!
Oh my god.
And now we're down to our last point here.
It's our last chance.
Get the
For
cover.
Queen and country.
Look out! There's a stop! We're practically chucking Rockman down!
Ooh.
Nice. That's what you get when you're calling for ammo drop.
Oh, sniper. Sniper, what's up? Don't.
Station, you copy? I need the rocket.
So we are in massive trouble now.
Oh, Jesus!
Wow.
Oh, sorry, don't kill me, I'm sorry.
Now this is how you do a strafing run!
Alright. So we're probably done here, but
Fucking radio!
Okay, okay, come here.
oh no. Oh no. See that? That's bad. Alright. So let's go over to our officer. He got taken out. I got taken out. I think this round is over. Tutorial with the officer? Yeah. So basically the most important thing with the officer is when you are the officer, select the binoculars and then find the spot you want to aim at with whatever you want to drop.
Who the fuck?
So whether it's ammo supply crate, aim exactly where you want to drop,
There's nothing you could
click
do.
the button,
Yeah, you could have died.
and then select on the radio menu what you want to
could have
drop.
died.
I did.
Otherwise,
That's
you can
too
actually
bad.
go into
I wish you wouldn't
into
have.
the options, into controls, and bind. See this your fire support,
So thanks
to a
everyone for
button.
playing. I have a terrible ping. but
and
nevertheless, I am
that
a
way you can actually
good
do it without
officer.
having like
Goodbye,
to bring out the binoculars.
You fucking shit.
Hello guys, hello Twitch.
All right,
Bye.
so I think I'm gonna drop off the game, and we can go into some Q&A. So if anybody has any other questions, I can answer them, whether they be tactical related, Dave Infamy related, Insurgency related, that sort of thing. Just switch over my view. We got the Rasputin, the best officer there. And some dude decided he wanted to get straight banned, so see ya, buddy. Am I a dev? I'm New World's community content producer. So if you ever see stuff on social media, all the articles that are written in game, or any of the videos, I also do producing for all of our live streams and that sort of thing. And this week I'm doing the live stream. No actual facial animations in our game, but I think that might be something that comes in Sandstorm. Hints about the next content update. So you saw a little bit about it if you go to our YouTube channel and go to Christian Backers Q&A. He is our lead Day of Infamy developer. Basically, we already showed off I don't know, almost pre-test Flactrum, which is our indoor map. Like a big flak tower, an anti-aircraft tower. It didn't have any real textures on it the last time we played it on stream, but we're assuming that'll go in. And there's a bunch of other features that Christian talked about in his video as well, so go and check that out. It's on our YouTube channel. It should be youtube.com/ I think it's Insurgency Game. Any sort of competitive community for this game? There are some clans that do play like semi-competitively, but there's no overall league. Insurgency has a really active league still. If you go to the Insurgency Gym or search for the Insurgency Gym, they run pickup groups every Saturday afternoon, or I guess Saturday evening if you are in Europe. And they get a ton of people out. I think last time I checked, there was, I think, 30 people playing in the actual gym, and then a bunch of people watching on stream. But we'll end up promoting that probably today or tomorrow, so you guys can go check that out this weekend if you want to watch some competitive Insurgency action. I'm totally new to the game. How are mods working? Can you join servers with different mods? So when I was in game right there, I actually had a mod on that changes my audio. So there's a bunch of mods that will change certain elements that are only specific to your side, and there's ones that'll change things that are specific to like the entire game. Like if you get like the Vietnam mod, it's going to change levels, it's going to change a bunch of things. So in that case, you're going to need a custom server, and some specific functions you will need a custom server for. But some of the basic changes, like changing your menu background or something like that, you don't need a custom server to go do that. So go check out each one of those mods. Most of them are available in each one of the games. It's not like they give you an insane advantage or anything, but they're kind of quality of life type additions. How many people are working on the Day of Infamy, like the size of the dev team? It really depends. I mean, it depends on what's on our next update, because we do have members that do switch back and forth between the Insurgency team and the Day of Infamy team. So right now we still have especially a bunch of level designers on the team, but I couldn't tell you the exact number because people do switch back and forth between projects. We started in Source, so everybody pretty much knows Source, and they're kind of learning, or some of the guys are experienced with Unreal for Sandstorm. Any new voice commands? I don't think we've considered adding any new voice commands yet. The radio menu is already pretty big, but if there's any that make a lot of sense, it's something we could look into adding in the future. Does Insurgency have a bigger community than this? I'm curious about the relationship between the two games because the same dev. So up until the free weekend, Insurgency was probably having consistently more players playing at any given time. And we always find that our spikes for player base is always around sales and free weekends and that sort of thing. So when we had the free weekend for Insurgency, I think it was about 2 years back, we saw a massive increase in the number of players. But right now, in terms of like the player counts, they're a lot more even than they were before. There's still a lot more games sold for Insurgency because it's been out for a long time and we've had sales, and the game's been, I think the last sale we had was down to $1.50. So you're gonna have a lot of people that are playing the game just because of the price of the game. But we expect to continue growing both games over time, and eventually I'm sure a lot of the Insurgency people will shift to Sandstorm when it's out, and maybe some of the Day of Infamy people might shift that way too, but we'll have to see. It surprises us that it does keep growing over time as more people get into the game and they get it on sale and that sort of thing. Oh, Sandstorm? Yeah, Sandstorm is the sequel to Insurgency we're working on, coming to consoles, coming to PC, Linux, Mac, and it's basically updated, sorry, not an updated, like a sequel to Insurgency. Lots of the same gameplay. We want to keep the same gameplay loop that we added to Day of Infamy. Like Day of Infamy is kind of like the World War II version of Insurgency. Well, Sandstorm just continues that same type of gameplay. So iron sights, limited information on your screen at any given time, very focused on the audio, knowing where shots are coming from, encouraging teamwork and that tactical gameplay. So keep a lookout for Sandstorm. You can go look up what we released of it so far, and hopefully you can release more information about it in the future. Yeah, there's a story mode that we're planning on working on for Sandstorm as well. I think the first trailer release was kind of like a single player trailer. We do have, of course, co-op in our current set of games, but yeah, we want to make a story to add to the game as well. Any additional content coming to the shooting range? Probably can't say much, but worth asking. I know they're constantly tweaking each one of the maps and the shooting range. You see us tweaking that stuff all the time. Like if you are a longtime player and you played Dog Red, which has been there since the dawn of time, basically, you see it's got new art on it. We constantly update with new features all the time. So if there's any requests, especially of stuff to go in the shooting range, you can look into putting some of those features in. When will be the next 50% off sale? So sales happen all the time. We have and not just through Steam either. I mean, we have a bunch of different partners that sell like official Steam keys that we do sales for. Just keep an eye on our Facebook and Twitter, subscribe to them, and we'll let you know when sales are happening. Steam itself, they give us kind of a cooldown for how often we can do sales. But if you really like the game, I mean, the way that we get money to develop games is by people paying for that games, and $20 isn't really a lot of money for the game for the amount of time that I've seen a lot of people put into it. So whether it's on sale, whether it's not on sale, I think it provides a pretty good value to each one of the players, at least in terms of the amount of time that they put into it, especially when you compare it to like modern like AAA games where you see like $80 price points on these games. I mean, I don't even buy games new. I'd wait till they're on sale a lot of the time too, just because they're that much. But when a game's $20, it's kind of in a different place altogether. You don't necessarily have to wait for it to be on sale all the time. Shooting range needs German guns. Yeah, yeah, we have to add. I think there are a couple, but yeah, it'd be good to experience both sides of it, not just be an ally side. Can you add a section to call in fire support so that players know how to use the officer class? Yeah, I think that that might be something that we have to add to especially the tutorial videos. The tutorial videos we did kind of early after Day of Infamy's release earlier this year. But yeah, I think we probably have to add a few more videos to it. The game has evolved over time, and it is an important point. Like, you saw how much in those games that the officer radio man relationship affected the game, where when we were charging in on Dunkirk on the German side, lay down smoke, sit back, wait, bomb out the area, and then rush into that area while you have the cover of the smoke. So it's definitely important for people to learn that. DOI reminds me of Day of Defeat. Are there any people on your team who have previously worked on Day of Defeat? Chance, I don't think there are any that worked on it, but we definitely were inspired by the game. I know personally, like, I wasn't involved in the development of Day of Infamy when it first launched, but I played a ton of Day of Defeat back in the day, and you can feel a lot of the same gameplay elements that were in that game. It's definitely a big inspiration. Some of the maps we've created our own versions of inside the game, not direct ports, but inspired by those. So you can see like certain elements that are similar. So it's definitely a big inspiration. But we take inspiration from all sorts of World War games. Like even new Call of Duty people are watching and posting inside of our Slack chat. Battlefield, Verdun, Squad. There's a ton of games out there, and they all take kind of different gameplay elements, and people kind of find the ones that work for them. I mean, it's a crowded marketplace, but every one of these shooters kind of has its own niche, and if you don't, people just kind of go to the most popular version of that game. So if people that complain that, let's say, Call of Duty's too fast, well, there's a ton of other shooters out there for you, but there are some people that like their games to be fast too. So different strokes for different folks, I guess. DOI feels much like DoD 2. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we've added and stripped down a lot of the stuff that you normally see in DoD as well, like. But yeah, it's the same but different. Let's see. Do I do streams like this very often? Only caught the tail end of it, enjoyed it. Yeah, we do stream every Thursday, and then we'll do, especially if there's big events like there was during the free weekend, we'll do some impromptu streams. Like I think we did 4 streams for every day of the free weekend. But yeah, every Thursday at noon EST, it'll be me here, Mikey, Michael Suhas, who's one of our game designers. He hosts the stream pretty regularly, and sometimes Andrew Spearin, who's our creative director, he'll host as well. So we cover a variety of topics, and you can always check out Facebook and Twitter for what we're covering this week. But generally, it's kind of this format where we introduce something, we show it off to you, we do some gameplay, and then do Q&A. A lot of the times too, we'll have special guests on from the community, so either like famous streamers or YouTubers that delve into especially war-based first-person shooters, or we will have people from the community who are modders or map creators, all sorts. So always cool stuff. So join us every Thursday. And if you want to see some like back or some older versions of the streams we've done, you can go check out our YouTube channel. I'll cut out like specific parts into their own videos, but our full streams are always available. I would say 3 or 4 hours after the stream, just because it takes a while to upload to YouTube when you have a 2 to 2.5 hour stream that they're processing. Plans for new units soon. Always looking at new units. Everybody wants their country in the game, and yeah, I mean, we're constantly talking about it and looking at different things we could add. But it's always weird because everybody wants their country, and it's a lot of work to add units. I mean, it's not just putting a skin in and putting some voices in. I mean, a lot of the times too, we've added weapons at the same time because it feels weird if you're using another country's weapon when you could be using the weapon of that country. So it's pretty involved. We also usually release it with like a map that is associated with the area that they're in, and some fronts take a lot of work, and we kind of don't want to go there as well. So like the Eastern Front, there's a mod in the works right now that's doing that, and yeah, there's a ton of different options. And if anybody wants to go out and make their own Pacific mod, that would be pretty cool too. Let's see. NWI actually cares about their game and community, unlike most AAA devs. Yeah, I mean, we try. I mean, we go out there and try to promote, especially our mod creators. A lot of them, we've included their maps in the game. Streamers, we tend to sponsor so that they can do their own videos. YouTube, you might have heard, is not really paying money or allowing ads on videos that are controversial. And any World War based game, they definitely don't allow ads. So there's not really an incentive for a lot of YouTubers to actually go out and make videos for our game. So we go out and sponsor them to go and do that, because they would be playing our game regardless. It's just some of them look like they're going to give up because of the changes that YouTube made. So it's important to us to sponsor our community and hold streams like this for people that are just learning the game, do guides and that sort of thing, and yeah, feature the best of the community. Let's see. Tactical map. Do you think a zoom in, zoom out function would be useful? Sometimes it gets a bit ramped on a point. Yeah, I can see that. The map itself, when you bring it up, is pretty big, and it's kind of hard to see. The one thing that would be interesting to me is if you ever used a smartphone before, where you're turning, or sorry, like a GPS device, you're turning and you see the kind of the map turn with you. Right now it's kind of stuck in one place. You see the map from overhead and you're stuck looking at the map in that direction. Having the map turn and follow you would be kind of cool, but that's just one of my ideas. It's not something that I've heard we're working on or anything. Let's see. Will Sandstorm be introducing any kind of destructible cover system? Not that I've heard of so far, but it's always something that people add. People are adding new features to the game all the time. It's really cool, especially in the art channels that we have on our internal Slack, seeing even something crazy like, I think last week we had a garbage bag that somebody modeled, and everybody's like, Man, that really looks like trash, because it did really look like trash. It looked like pretty awesome, shiny trash, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I struggle even knowing where I am on the map, but I get the lines, and it's hard to track in a quick moment. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, some of it just takes getting used to, too. Some of it's just spending time in the game and knowing where you are on the map and hearing fire and that sort of thing. Like, audio is important, too. It's not just seeing the map, but you can hear where fire is coming from. You can hear where bombs are dropping. You can hear where people are yelling and shouting, and you kind of get a sense of where people are, so you can establish a perimeter, either defensively or offensively, and make sure that there's no flanks for people to go behind your enemy lines and take you out from behind. One thing that would help is making position more obvious. Yeah, I could see that. Let's see. So while we keep on getting questions in the chat, I am going to work on getting you guys a free copy of Day of Infamy. So, let's see, giveaway. Okay, so anybody that wants to win a free copy of Day of Infamy, doesn't have to be for you. You can give it to a friend, that sort of thing. All you have to do is type bootcamp in the chat, all one word, bootcamp, and you will be entered, and I will roll in a couple minutes here. Word for the giveaway is bootcamp. So all you have to do is say bootcamp. Doesn't matter if it's capitalized, doesn't matter if it's lowercase. The bot's smart enough to figure it out. So weapon skins becoming. Well, I mean, a lot of people have done their own weapon skins as mods, so you can add those if you want. And we do have some like unlockable weapon skins as well if you do certain achievements. So you can check those out. You've probably seen like the cloth wrapped rifles before and that sort of thing. Got a lot of boot camps in the chat. Lots of new faces in the chat today, I gotta say. So hopefully you guys got to learn a little bit. I don't know if I'm the best person to teach everybody. I'm not as good at the game as some of our other guys that do the stream, but hopefully got to learn a little bit. So last chance, just throw bootcamp in the chat. I'm gonna roll in, I would say, 10 seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Naki Sausage. I will message you shortly with the key. And yeah, you can if you don't have the game already, just enter the key in Steam and you'll have the game, or you can give it away to a friend and you got somebody to play with. But if you don't have anybody to play with, lots of people in the chat you can join up with. And another good place to go and find more people is the Day of Infamy Discord server. I can provide a link to that as well. And I will throw that into the chat. Any more questions before we wrap up here? Yeah, it would be. It's there's tons of decent officers and radio men in that Discord server, and they're always talking about Day of Infamy modding and that sort of thing. But just be careful when you're joining like the open voice chat, because people are talking about all sorts of stuff, not just Day of Infamy related. So, any more questions before we go here? I don't know if you guys saw this week, but we had one of the guys that is the a mapper that had a bunch of his maps included with CSGO. He got inspired and is now doing a map for Day of Infamy, or at least he started it. Hopefully he finishes it, but yeah, he's working on one right now, so hopefully that is something we can test out on a future stream. It looks pretty cool. We're pretty excited. We've been talking about it a lot on New World Slack, but here's a example I just posted in chat so you can test it out. Not a question, but good job on Day of Infamy and Insurgency. They are fun. Thanks, man. We love the positive feedback. Everybody posts cool reviews and that sort of stuff that we get, and nice messages. We get a lot of those through Facebook private message and that sort of thing too. So so yeah, thanks for the support. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I think we'll have more of a regular cast next week, and I'll go back to producing. But thanks for everybody joining. Hopefully you learned a little, and I'll send out some links for guides and that sort of thing with our weekly wrap that we do on Friday. If you check the in-game browser, or you go to our website, which is daveofinfamy.game, I'll have something up there that like wraps up new player tips and tutorials. People have written a bunch of them over time, so you can learn a little bit about stuff from that. You don't have to go back and watch the video, and this video will be available in a couple hours from now. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining, guys. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you guys later.